1 lap. So it's all for nothing again. All factory front drive cars. You should be in the qualifying line at this time. Let's go through tech before coming to the qualifying gate. Becky takes the green from Luke Carl, starts his lap, and comes around to the checkers this time. Official time here, 16. So we'll be talking about bump time, bump speed, so to speak. 15.577, 15577. In case you're curious, let's see if we can get some. I don't have lap speed worked out on that one just yet. But that is right now going to be our fast time then. That'll be the give a shot at it. And 16.197. We'll get down to 16 qualifiers and we'll start talking about bumping. Andy Sparks in the Gold Powered 15 machine. I'll try and put it in the field here. One 15869, 15869, second quick so far. If what we're seeing early in practice is any indication, 15.8s are not safe to be a top 16. You may be looking at least 15 4s or 3s even, depending on what happens here on the sun, how well these guys make the adjustments. Josh Gar in the 02 machine. Lots of extra graffiti on the salute to Carl on this one. Our former undercard champion. Puts it in with a 15874, 15874. Again, all factory front-wheel drives, you must go through tech first before coming to the qualifying line. You go straight from tech to the qualifying line. Nathan Brown next up in the 72. Just gradually build fast cars and factory front-wheel drives here tonight. Is in 16122, 16122, and 5 have qualified so far for the pace car 116. Next up is number 21, Eddie Snap for third. If I can see this correctly. Nope, the Bowers number 9 here. Clear, I apologize. Jacob Bowers for the Marshall Liquor Squad. Thank you, better than Good Liquor Store, for your sponsor. Whoa, clock is still ticking. Clock is still ticking, and now it is stopped. He has actually cut inside the marker. That was his one and only shot at getting the qualifying time, and going as a no time. He cut inside the marker in turn 2. He goes down as a no time on this one. He does not get another shot at this. No, and he is done already. Yep. So here's the way this one works. He cut inside the marker, came around, did not finish his lap technically, or he did finish, but he cut inside. He doesn't get a time on that, and he is basically going to have to run through the qualifying race no matter what now. Next up, number 58, Jaden Baker, the Adams Racing Squad. Little sister to, whoa, Danny Adams gets a little loosey out there. On her rookie season, though, behind the wheel, so got to give her a break. She's so new to racing, she hasn't even learned to cuss yet. And she gets a time in at 1:07.770, 17.770. So again, remembering, this is your one shot to get a good lap. The only Volvo I do believe we have in the field, that's with Brian King in green and white, number 86 machine. King gets a time of 1:06.840. Now 7 have qualified. 7 have qualified. Technically 8. Technically, the fellow who cut the tire is still a qualifying car. He just doesn't have the time. Bobby Applegate in the 113 machine. And our couple spots away from talking about bump times now. Top 16 made it into the starting field. Everybody else has to go into the last chance races. And if you don't make it through that, you're loading up and watching. $200 for the fast qualifier. And right now, it's got Kyle DeBecky's name on that one. Applegate is in 1:07.743, 17.743. Larry Hackfield next up with a double zero machine number 6. I never saw behind that one here. This is basically probably he's got a pair of wins, perfect record going on in his driving that car. Fast time 14.859. 14.859, one of the fastest laps we've seen all day in the factory front wheel drives. 14.859. From Harold Bruce and Kerry Pritchett. Next up, Drew Dupler and the Orange Crush 52. And this will be our 10th qualifier with a time. 10th qualifier with a time. Just a few. Dubler's in, my third quick so far, 15.796, 15.796, 15.796. Again, remember, in the pit area, if you've not already gotten in line, factory front wheel drives immediately to the tech line. You must go through straight from the tech line into the qualifying line. The big nugget himself, Joe Liggett's number 89 machine. Going to give her a shot. Seems like we don't hear anymore in the Speedrome. Little tire spill. Liggett there carries a lot of speed in 3. Whoa! Has some wrestling back into shape there in 4. Takes her across the stripe. And Liggett is in my 6th quick time of 15.934. 15.934. Joe Wright Jr. next up in the 04 machine for the Wright Wrecker Service. Wright Towing's going to give her a shot. Takes the green, takes a lot of speed into 1. That's a little bit of good ball in 2, but smoky smoke all the way around. Same smoky smoke there everywhere around the tracks. That's an interesting one. Up and a little worse though as he went through that one. But Wright is in, third quick now for him. 04 machine 15.785, 15.785. Attention pit area, you must be in line by now. You must be in line, you must be in the qualifying line, the tech line by now to be able to get a time in on this one. So please, be patient, be in line, and be ready to roll.
Just say it, I can hear you.
6:30.
Quick track inspection, got a couple complaints here. Take a quick peek, see what's going on out there. Bear with us, quick check on what track conditions are like. One of the drivers is not too happy with what he was running in, so take a quick peek, see what's going on out there. Zach Hill next up in the number 1 machine. Zach Hill next up in the number 1 machine. To keep on rolling. Technically 13 have qualified. Remember the Jacob Bowers machine is technically right now your 13th qualifier with no time. Zach Hill becomes the 14th qualifier now, so we start talking about the bumping here in just a second. As Mike kind of makes his way to the racetrack, unfamiliar as he may be with this asphalt surface, Zach Hill is in the field. Zach is my second quick qualifier at a 1.5462, 15.462. Good lap for Zach Hall. It's all on the line on this one-shot qualifying deal, and Zach Hall made it play out for him. I think that's going to be good enough to make the starting 16. 15.462, Zach Hall. Jacob Baker, he's now my 14th qualifier. 21 of Eddie Snap the third. Part of several 3 and even 4 generation racing families we got out here. Original Snappers, part of our own Speedrome stock. Junior now number 3 coming out to play over the years, as long as a couple other members of the family. And Snap is in, my new second quick qualifier, 1.5323. 1.5323 for Snap. Another one I think is going to make it solid in the field. Top 5 right now, Hatfield's 14.859, Snap's 15.2323, Zach Hall 15.462, DeBecca's 15.577, and Joe Wright Jr. is 15.785. My 16th qualifier. Zach Mathino, one of the old buds from the Johnson County and South Central Indiana. And Mathina is my new second good qualifier with a 1.5318, 15.318. Second quick, 14.922, 14922. We've bumped Bowers out. My 16th fast qualifier right now, 17.770 for Jake Baker. 17.770. Jake Baker is my 16th. He is on the bubble. Remember, we take only the top 16, lock them in. Everybody else has to go into the last chance race. Number 26, Alicia Emery coming out here, give it a shot. 17.770. And she does barely. 16.961. 16.961. That puts Robert Applegate on the bubble at 17.743. Yes, we're talking about bubbles times and bumps situation. There you're bumping away into the field now. This is number 17, three-time champion Andrew Brown. Getting a ton of smoke in the practice session, and a ton as he went out the gate. He's got some issues there with that car. It didn't last long enough. The Kinney crew will see what happens. Brown, though, trying to get her in the field first, and then we'll go to the car later. Time to beat 17.743 of Applegate. I think he's going to have this one. He's in third quick, 1.5206, 15.206. Applegate's out, and Emery is now on the bubble with a 16.961. Ethan George in the black and green, number 70. Fraser Carl, 116. This race car together. And he's in just barely at 1.6285, 16.285. Puts the Volvo, Brian King on the bubble with a time of 16.840. Brian King currently the 16th fast qualifier with a 16.840. And here's a fella who's basically, if he can make it in one piece to first lap or two, he'll be happy. In the number 65, gorgeously prepared, number 65, this is Luscious Luke Liggett. Proving that just like the women at the Kitley, you don't have to be pretty to be fast. Keeps it together all through the south end. Tears himself across the line. And he's in fourth quick at a 1.5237, 15.237. Ethan George is now on the bubble. Bump time, 16.285, 16.285. Jesse Cox, the yellow number 19, is going to have his hands full on this one. This is basically his first practice lap of the day. Coming in a little bit late, so first lap. Yeah, he's got a couple folks showing off their new shirts. Looks good. Yeah. And Cox at least has got a time, but not good enough. 1.6859, 1.6859, not good enough to bump his way into the field. Bump time right now, 16.285. Ethan George on the bubble. Bill Perkinson is going to try to be one of the youngest ones in the field here with David Brown. Noel Perkinson, another graduate from the junior fast cars, going straight into the factory front wheel drive. Gives a lap of 1.5829, 15.829 is just good enough for 11th position. Noel Perkinson has bumped his way into the field. Dylan Dupler right now is on the bubble. Bump time of 16.197. Dylan Dupler and Saturn's on the bubble, Josh, with a bump time of 16.197. Mike Gully next up in the number 31. That's a 16.197 lap time. Team started 16. And He's good enough. 15.724, 15.724, 15.724. That's going to put Nathan Brown on the bubble now, the number 74 machine. Bump time at 16.122. In case it comes up, remember you have to beat the guy. If you tie him, you didn't beat him, he keeps the spot. Just let you know in case it does arise. Possibility somebody could match time for somebody. You have to beat his time to bump him out of it. Let's check. I don't think this is the Matthew 75. This will be the 175 of Adam Sims. That was my confusion earlier. The 175 of Adam Sims. Limited advances the last 2 years. Actually, got hooked on this one doing the demo derbies. We got a couple of those coming up this year, by the way. Check it out at speedrome.com. Sims is down 18th quick, not good enough to get in with a 16.208, 16.208 for Sims. I believe it'll be William Clark next up in the 114. There we go, William Clark going 114. Nathan Brown still on the bubble. Bump time of 16.122. Another quick check of the bonus awards. Fast qualifier takes home an extra $200. We see Harold Brooks and Barry Pritchett. Chip Fast takes home $50. Jeffrey Christian Armour. Right now, that's Joe Wright Jr. Stephen Stay standing, but I still have a whole lot of cars going. I don't think we've even got half the field in yet. Clark at a 1.7 and change is not going to bump his way in. We keep going. Nathan Brown on the bubble, 16.122. And I believe is Wes Stegman coming up to play. 64 Wes Stegman, Carpenter and Realtors. See the realtor getting down there. Has a wrestler back down, gets across the stripe. He's in 8th quick, 15.472, 15.472. Nathan Brown is out. And the Nugget, Joe Liggett, is on the bubble with a 15.934. Bump time of 15.934. Big shout out, welcome to the KDC trucking people, truck and trailer crowd on board with us here at the Speedrome. Special guests. Back there in the back, stretching the hands records, showing a couple things on the KDC over the years. This is Tim Smith in the 07. Gave me a very, very deceptive sub-15 lap in practice. He's kind of sneaking around back there. Tim Smith in the 07 trying to bump his way in. One of the most experienced drivers we got out here. Smith lines up perfectly, and he is in solid. 15.252. I think that should be good enough to stay. 15.252 is my 5th quick time so far. That bumps Liggett out and puts Josh Garr, former Thundercard champion, on the bubble with a 15.874. So now 15-second laps are in danger. Austin Still's going to put his test in the number 15.874. Austin Still's number 40 is trying to get her down for the Wright brothers. Overline Stage Company and Records for Service, and he does so. Where'd you go? 4th quick at a 15.219. 15.219. He is in, Gar is out, and Andy Sparks now sits on the bubble. Bumps time at 15.869. 15.869. Brad Ransdale, number 28, back in action after backing it into everything under the sun out there. He beat him all to death with his back bumper last time out. So 37.2 is just in, 12th quick for him. That puts Noah Perkinson on the bubble in the number 36 with a bump time of 1:5.829, 15.829. So it stands right now. It's Larry Hatfield, Jess Holliday, Andrew Brown, Austin Stidham, Springer, Zach Martinez, Stegman, Kyle DeBecky, Brad Ransdale, Michael Gully, Joe Wright Jr., Drew Weaver, and the 16th qualifier so far, Noah Perkinson in the field. There's the car 116. Next track is not Brandon. This rain, let's see what he can do with it. 15.829, 15.829. And it's the 17-second one, and that's not going to be good enough to get in. He's going to have to come into the last chance race. Again, bear with us. Going to be running long here with this qualifying. Solid field, 60-plus cars coming out for the Crazy Car 116. Only 32 start. 16th from this qualifying. Robert Bussey back in action at the 144 for him in his factory, or pardon me, his Ford division car. Not bad what you done so far. Bumped his way into the field. Time of 15.829, currently held by Noah Perkinson. And Bussey with a 17-second lap will not get his way in. Perkinson still on the bubble. Scott Matthews in the number 75 came back to play with us today for this race. Another one of the veterans has raced against Crazy Carl over the years. Matthews, though, very, very steeply calm lap. And falling for smoothness. Stand across the stripe. And a 17-second run will not bump his way in. Ferguson still safe for the moment. 15.829, still the bump time. Ryan Dunnigan, believe it or not, moving behind the wheel of the car, the 116. Crazy Carl's number. Carl Schelling's number in the 116. Takes checker from Carl Schelling Jr., or the green I should say, trying to get his way into the field. So Ryan Dunnigan from just down the street. I don't think this is going to make it. It does not. 17.9 and change. Not going to get her in. Crazy Carl's going to have to bump his way into his own race. Grayson Zudenfellow, who is my fast cat. For the 15 seconds at practice. Mason McKinney in the number 18. Number looking much better too, Mason. Thank you. Fast time is 14.859. My $50 10 place qualifier bonus is West Tech for the moment 15.472. And McKinney's only been good for third fastest, 15.195, 15.195, and that bumps out Noah Perkinson. Now puts the 52 Drew Dupler on the bubble.